Hello everyone, good to see you in today's class. Today we are going to be looking at how to solve quadratic equations. But there are different methods you can use to solve quadratic equations. What we are going to look at now is how to use the factorization method. And looking at the root word of factorization, it means that we need to pick factors. We need to generate factors for this expression. The way to know that an equation is a quadratic equation, that is when you see that the highest power is 2. I get me now. So there are different kinds of equations that we have. So an equation with the highest power has 2 is what we call a quadratic equation. Now I want to solve this equation. This is like the basic way to solve any quadratic expression. And I want you to follow me as we walk through the steps on how to use the factorization method to solve a quadratic equation. So follow me. Now the first thing we have to do now is to look at our question. We have 3x squared minus 11x minus 4. You see that one like the simultaneous equation, the only variable here is x. It's just we're going to just have one letter as a variable, so we're not going to have a mixed. So if you should have a mixture of other letters, it is no longer a quadratic equation. It has become a mixed equation. But that's not the focus of today's class. Let's just follow what we have here. So also one of the characteristics of a quadratic equation is that it really has one kind of variable, even though it has a power of 2. Now, the first thing you have to do is to multiply the first term by the third term. Now, you can see here that we have 3x squared. The first term is 3x squared, and our second term is minus 4. Are you getting me now? So it's not just the figure you are particular about. You take note of the signs that accompanies the expression. Now, so what we do to multiply these two together. So if you multiply 3x squared by minus 4, you have minus 12x squared. Now, the reason why we are multiplying is such that we want to generate two factors that we can multiply together that will give us minus 12x. I get it now. So it simply means that we are going to look for the multiples of 12. We're going to have to write out the multiples of 12 that we know and find out. And the reason why we have to find, let's write out the multiples of 12. And I'll now tell us why we need the multiples of 12. So definitely we know that 1 and 12. Then we have 2 and 6. We have 3 and 4. Basically, I think these are all the multiples of 12 that we have. Now, there's 4 and 3, okay, we have done that. Now, having generated all these values, since we have a minus 12 here, we now need to assign signs. Now, let's say we can assign a minus, let's say minus, and the minus can even be a plus, it doesn't matter. One of them can be either a plus or a minus. But before we talk about the sign, let us put x in front. Now, what determines what sign each of these expressions will carry is the middle term. Now, what we want to do is to break this middle term into two expressions. I get me now. We want to have, at the end of the day, we want to arrive at 4 expressions so that we can group them properly. What do I mean? Because we have been able to generate the multiples of this 12 now, even though we have not considered the sign, I get it now. What we have done simply is to get the 3 multiples of 12. And out of these 3 multiples, we just need one of them. And what we need one of them for is that which of these expressions can we add together to give us minus 11? I get me now. So what we do is to eliminate which of these expressions we don't need. You know that if you even do an addition of these 4 and 3, what you will arrive at is 7. So it does not meet this criteria. So this is out of it. If you do 6 plus 2, what you have is what? 8x. Or even if you subtract, if you do 6 minus 2, you end up with 4. If you do 4 minus 3, you end up with 1. So these two do not meet up with the criteria. Now if I do 1 plus 12, I'm going to get 13. But if I do 1 minus 12, I will get minus 11. Can you see that now? So one of these multiples will be what I'm going to use So it simply means that I'm going to be using 1x, but in this case, we usually do not, when we have 1, we usually do not put the 1, because we know that 1 multiplied by anything is the same thing. So 1 multiplied by x here will be x. So in this case, I'm just writing the 1 so that we can have the perspective of how we arrived at the 11. So that means that the sign that will be here will be a positive sign, and the sign that will be here will be a negative sign. So you simply say that if I do plus 1 minus 12, it will give me minus 11. Are you getting now? So I can rewrite this equation, 3x squared minus 11x minus 4 equals to 0 as, you can write as 3x squared. Now, we're not even going to write 1, we'll say, now let's bring this 12x to be in front, because it has, anyways, it's still, you can still use, let's use x. So plus x, right, minus 12x minus 4 equals to 0. You can simply see that we have replaced this minus 11 with plus x and minus 12x. So that's the goal of finding the factors of this 12 that we found earlier. Now, so what we simply do is now is to group them into two sides now. So what that means is that you just put a bracket here. Are you getting me now? Now you have grouped each individuals now. So what we now do is to factorize. You factorize each of these expressions. So factorize. And when you do under factorization, it's simply that you look at both expressions here and you look at what expression is constant. Are you getting me now? You look through and see that which expression is what? Is a constant expression for both sides. Now when you look at 3x squared and x, you know that x is constant for both sides. Are you getting me now? So I will write, so whatever constant figure you have, you put it outside. So it simply means that I'm going to be removing one value of x from both sides. So in this case, it will become 3x plus 1. Are you getting me now? 3x plus 1. So it simply means that when I multiply this expression, I should get everything that is inside here. So if you do x plus 3x, we have 3x squared, x plus 1, x times 1, you get x. Are you getting me now? So do the same thing for this other side too. You look at these two expressions, what do you have? What we know we have a constant is 4. 4 is a constant here. 4 can divide 12 and 4 can divide 4. Are you getting me now? So you simply say, you take the sign outside here, so minus 4. Are you getting me now? So you divide 4 by 12, you have 3x, right? Minus 1. So we have, now the way to know that, one of the things you must also check is your sign. Now you can see that this is carrying a plus, this is carrying a minus. Then I have to, when I run the check, if I do minus 4 minus 1, I will get a plus 4. So, and this is not a plus 4. So that means that I must change the sign to a positive. I get me now. So, and the way to know that you're on the right track is that the expressions in the brackets must always be the same. They must have the same sign and they must always be the same value. So don't forget your equals to what? 0. Now we are getting to the tail point. So I'm going to group the expressions that are outside the bracket together, and I'll just pick one of either of these two. I get it now. So we have x here, we have minus 4 here. So I'm going to group them together. So we have x minus 4. I'll put it in the brackets. And since we have the same, so I just write as 1. So 3x plus 1 equals to 0. Do you get that now? So now what we have to do is to what? We are finding the value for x. So we are not done with what we are doing. Now we have x minus 4 and 3x plus 1. So what I simply need to do is I'm going to each of these expressions equals to 0. So this is going to be what? X minus 4 equals to 0. So I find a value for x. So when I collect like terms, so this will become x equals to 0. Like I said, when they cross it, it equals plus 4. So x equals to 4. That's the first one. And I keep this 3x minus 1. So we have 3x plus 1, equals to 0. Then I collect my like term again. So we have 3x equals to 0 minus 1. So we have 3x equals to minus 1. So if you divide both sides by 3, so you have x equals to minus 1 over 3. So we say that what x is 4 or minus 1 over 3. I believe that you have followed every step that I've taken to solve this equation using the factorization method. I'm going to be dropping a link to some questions in the description. I want you to attempt it and send me your solution. It's very easy to solve, it's very easy to attempt, and I hope that you will be able to use this tutorial video to be able to apply the things I've taught you, I've learned here, to be able to do your own work. So next time I see you, thank you.